What's up guys, welcome to this week's Murph's World. My name is Murph for all your new viewers and all your existing viewers. Welcome back, I hope you've had a really good week. This week I have a really good selection for you, including one documentary I couldn't even finish because it was that harrowing. Thank you everybody for your comments last week, especially I'd like to do a little shout out for Simon because your comment absolutely cracked me up. Some really interesting, great comments guys, especially in response to the question, is nudity required in movies? Simon's comment, I'm not even going to read it out, I just want everyone to go back to last week's video and read the comment and comment on his comment, if that makes sense. It's really funny. Well done, Simon. Thank you very much. Really cheered me up. This week's question is one that I've seen a lot of people talk about online, and it is, there's a lot of talk about Back to the Future being remade, and apparently little Tommy's playing Spider-Man at the moment. He may be in line for the role of Marty McFly. Do you think that it will be a disaster if they remake it, or do you think it'll be a great idea and it will give a whole new audience access to the films? For me, I was born in the 80s, and you know, it's an 80s classic, but is it dated now? I haven't watched it for a while. I need to rewatch. So leave me a comment about that one, guys. I'd really appreciate that. And well, I can't see any reason why to hang around. Let's see what I've been watching this week. Blockers on Netflix. Blockers is a comedy that follows some parents whose daughters are going to prom. 3 sets of parents, 3 daughters, they're all going to prom, and then basically the parents find out they're going to lose their virginity on prom night, and it's called Blockers as in, you know, cock blockers basically. So they're trying to block their kids, you know, from losing their virginity. Now, it's an interesting film. I saw this at the cinema when it first came out. It's a bit hit and miss with the jokes, to be honest with you. I found it an enjoyable film overall. But after a comedy, it's definitely worth a watch. There's a few real laugh out loud moments. One of the dads is a single dad and he's really funny. He's a bit of a sort of, you know, a bit of a loner and he's quite funny. He's one of the funniest people in the film. But something's a bit odd as well because it's kind of like, you know, they intrude on the kids' privacy, things like that. It's, you know, it's a bit odd. I don't know. I don't have a sort of a teenage daughter yet, so I don't know, you know, what I'd be like. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, live and let live. But overall, a decent little comedy, something worth watching. You know, if you're stuck for something to watch and you want something a bit light-hearted and a bit funny, this is one for you. If you've got teenage daughters, you might learn something, you might not, I don't know. Overall, an enjoyable little movie. So there's a few heartwarming moments, there's a few laughs, which you want in a comedy. Generally, not a bad watch, you know, fairly enjoyable, just something to put on if you are stuck for something to watch. So that's Blockers on Netflix, and it's premiering on Netflix on the 6th of March, which is tomorrow, which is Friday. I think in the comments below. Also, let me know if there's any other good comedies you've seen recently that I can review next week. Brightburn on Sky Cinema. Brightburn is a horror film in essence, but the kind of backstory to it is kind of, there's a lot of buzz about it before it came out in the cinema. Now, the story is, put it this way, think of the film Superman. Now, obviously, Superman was an alien that landed on a farm. A couple found him, then they raised him, and then he became a hero and protected all the humans on Earth, you know, using all these superpowers. Now, take that story and flip it. Flip it so he's evil. This is, in essence, what Brightburn is. It's kind of a horror, sci-fi, not a superhero film as such, but obviously, you know, Superman is a superhero film, but is, you know, sci-fi in essence, well, being an alien and whatnot. What the director's done, he's taken Superman and he's made it evil. It's a really good, jumpy horror, very quick film. It's only an hour and a half long. It kind of flies by. I found it very entertaining, and I would highly recommend this one. If you like horrors, I think you enjoy it. If you're into Superman and sort of comic book films, I think you enjoy seeing the twist on it, the dark sort of twist on it. And if you're not into sort of superhero films, you still enjoy it because it's not, you know, a comic book film. Some people have been put off by that, but it's not at all. It's more of a horror. So if you're into horror films and you look for something that's a bit jumpy, over quite quickly, this is a very entertaining film. Don't get me wrong, it's nothing spectacular, but it does a good job. You know, I enjoyed it, and that is the main thing. It's probably about 7 out of 10, no more, no less. Brightburn is out on Friday on Sky Cinema, so check that one out and let me know what you think in the comments below. The Trial of Gabriel Fernandez on Netflix. This documentary follows the tragic case of Gabriel Fernandez, who was a young boy who he was basically tortured to the point of where he died. And this documentary is absolutely harrowing. Now, I need to be honest with you up front here. I watched 3 episodes of this and I couldn't continue anymore. So this review is based on the 3 episodes, and what I actually did after I went onto the internet and researched the remainder of the story, the facts about it. It was just too hard to watch, honestly. The story begins explaining what happened and how the police turned up, accounts of the police, and then lawyers, things like that about what happened to this poor boy. And then it goes through the whole court case and the court proceedings, and the lawyer who represents the small boy, who's trying to get the death penalty for the small boy's mum and sort of her boyfriend. And then you start finding out, you know, there was corruption going on with the police force, you know, was people taking bribes, you know, how comes the paperwork never came about? When you see the list of what happened to this poor child, the list of injuries and stuff, and teachers reporting it and things like that, how he wasn't straight away taken into custody is just, it's just beyond belief. If you can sit through this and you can stomach it, then you know it's really worth watching. This case brought to light the issues in the justice system today, sort of the child welfare sort of justice systems in America. I think it's causing some kind of reform. I hope it is, because it was just horrific. It's not really one that I would see as entertainment, but it is a really, really well put together documentary, what I've seen so far. It's just a horrific case. It's a good documentary, but the subject matter is so harsh. So have a look at that one if you can handle it, but be warned, it is very, very distressing. That's all we got time for this week, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for everybody who subscribed last week. If you're new to the channel and wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button, every week I do a brand new episode just for you, telling you what's good on Netflix, Amazon and Sky. Next week, I'm going to read out a lot more comments. Unfortunately, I've been a bit under the weather this week, and it's not the coronavirus. Obviously, it's totally taken over the news. Now, I know for a fact one of my viewers does potentially have the coronavirus or is in quarantine at the moment, but I hope everyone who's affected by this feels better, or, you know, it doesn't get too bad, or doesn't actually have it, you know, when it's actually tested. So fingers crossed, guys. And next week, I've got a great selection for you. I've already been checking what's coming out. Some of them I've already seen in advance, ready to review for you. So make sure you come back next Thursday. Hit the notifications tab if you haven't already, and you'll be informed as soon as the new episode is uploaded. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Thursday. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do below, and every week Murph will tell you what's good on Netflix, Amazon, and Sky. Oh my God, I got cheese on my helmet. I got it.